What do you see for Facebook pages as far as, do the company pages alone work? Do you feel like you need a person there? And then how do you manage that?
Initially, Facebook pages are very tough because it's so hard to get a following. It's so hard to get those people to come to that. I always recommend a personal page, so that way you can go out there, you can actively get new followers. Then as you build that following, you can transition them to a Facebook page. If you're a Coca-Cola of the world and you want to launch a Facebook page, you'll get followers right away.
Right.
If you're a startup company or you're something that no one's heard of before, it's going to be very hard to get that initial following. So to get the ball rolling, start with the personal account for sure.
I have a follow-up to that, but for some of our clients too, we'll recommend if they can, if they have a commodity of some nature, give a reason why they should do their Facebook page. I've seen some really successful launches with every day of the week, a different social media action will get you entered into a drawing for a free X. So, day one is you need to tweet about us 5 times that day. If you do that, we will enter you into a list or drawing for, a $5 product. You'd be surprised how many Twitter followers of people who care about you, if all you have is an email list, you can really get with something like that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of games with that too, where they'll have like a trivia question of the day or a joke of the day or something along those lines. Might not necessarily be in line with the company, but it's a way to get people interested in what it is you're saying, what it is you're doing, if it's on a consistent basis.
And I think professional services and a range of people can really get away with that. I think they shy away from doing that, like, I'll give you 10% off or whatever, but in comparison to the costs of other marketing methodologies, I think it's worthwhile. But I want to get back to the question of that personal page first. So I'm the CEO of a company, and I've got my page with my kids' pictures on it and so forth. Do you tell them to transition that into a public profile?
That is completely up to the individual what they're comfortable with. Sometimes we'll create a separate page where they have their personal Facebook page and they have their work Facebook page. Luckily, most times CEOs aren't out there on Facebook already, so generally 9 times out of 10 we're just creating that Facebook page and then they're launching it as an individual. I always recommend to people to include as much personal information as you're comfortable with, just because it shows that you're a real human being. It shows that you're an actual person out there living your normal life, and yes, you run a company that you should be interested in. At the same time, some people just are absolutely not comfortable with that, and then you get into, well, we'll only share business stuff on here, we'll only share personal, and
I think you see a lot of hybrids with some of that in like the arts and entertainment world. I know a lot of authors who have maybe a personal page that's their real page that has a middle initial or a misspelling, and then their author page that might have some personal information, but it's really more of a fan destination page than a real personal page.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's unless there's any legal standing to it, I think it's just really a personal decision of what are you comfortable sharing with the world. But
the only question is whether it would violate the terms of service.
Which, I don't know Facebook's terms of service.
Everybody violates every term of service, right?
But you're not supposed to.
Right,
You click, I agree, that you'll cover it, that's a contract. I'm not going to advise you to violate the terms of service.